Well, hello there, folks, and welcome to a quick update on Astroneer. It is October 20th, and a new patch just dropped that has completely screwed my entire base. But kind of in a good way. The first thing I want to do is just give you a quick tour, and then I'll explain what the problem is. The first thing we run into is this barren wasteland of where my bases used to be. It started like, well, as you can see, it started here, and then I moved it over here, moved it back there. But anyway, it looks like trash. Speaking of trash, we can see that we have this auto scrap trade platform. Initially, I was getting ammonium, which is this resource, through trade and scrap, but that was just a little too annoying and too hard. So even with all of the fun automation that we have here, oh wow, a true joy to watch. It just wasn't good enough, especially because there's not a great return on investment there when it comes to the ammonium. And now, why do I want ammonium, you might ask? Well, ammonium makes hydrazine, and hydrazine powers my jetpacks. And the jetpacks are literally the only thing you ever need in this game. That's the one thing you need, and it makes the game like 100 times more playable. The quest for ammonium was that was always the end goal. Moving on to the resource library, we have literally anything you could ever need in the giant resource canisters. And then we have some of these composite resources, including explosives, which I think are a lot of fun, a favorite of Chris's. Nanocarbon alloy, which we love to create RTGs, which all of mine are hidden behind this lovely iceberg here. Look at that garbage. And then we have all of our gas here, and the one thing that completely screwed this entire base. Over here we can see we have a printing station. I have these silos here so that if I need to make multiples of when I was making auto arms, I just put some graphite and aluminum on there, and then it'll automatically continuously make them when I press that button, which is super neat. We then have the original hydrazine station. This is where I was making multiple hydrazines at once, as you can see here from the two chemistry labs. And then I used to have auto arms going back here, but then all the hydrazine was just piling up back there. So there wasn't really a good way to store it, which is why I created, that thing back there, which we'll get to in a minute. Then we have our atmospheric condenser, which is constantly filling up these two guys with hydrogen, which will, again, come back into play later over there. And then I had no idea what astronium was used for. And then Chris told me. I guess he was looking at the wiki or something and said, hey, you can research it. And I said, oh, well, what we need is more bytes. But that was something that we needed at one point. So I just actually got back from a astronium run where I gathered a ton of it. And I've got a little bit of automation here. As you can see, we got some auto arms. So whenever one of these finishes, the auto arm will tuck it right back in there, and we just have a constant of 120 bytes per minute here, just slowly going up. And then at some point, I'm just going to go ahead and unlock everything just for fun. I probably have enough now, but why not do it? Why not do more? Okay, here's my fun little buggy that we attach our soil canisters to. The soil centrifuge, so going back to ammonium, the soil centrifuge is what I decided was probably the easiest way to get ammonium. You can go and grab it under the earth here on Saliva, or you can get it on pretty much any planet. But that's work. And why would you work when you can centrifuge? So I set these up to automatically create ammonium, one at a time only, which is a little annoying. But when you have medium soil canisters, they just automatically continuously fill up the centrifuges. So I made a big silo, a bunch of these soil canisters, and then these just hop right onto the back of here. And then I created basically a road around the world, because at one point I did have two of these with 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh wait, 24 of these medium canisters. So I put another one up here. But that honestly, that just took way too long to fill. And you fill it just by driving, and then as you dig, which I'm not going to dig here because my road is beautiful. As you dig, it fills them up, and that gets kind of slow. But if you drive all the way around the Earth, Saliva, which is the name of this planet, you can fill up all of these, and then you pop them here, and they automatically, as you can see, they automatically fill these up, and then they move the ammonium. Well, we'll get to the automation in just a sec here. Now, I had heard that the mini soil canisters on these medium storage silos, you can fit more soil. And I guess that's, I don't know if that's true or untrue. All I know that it's super annoying to fill these, or to make these, to make however many of these I have, which I don't even know. And then automating this is also super annoying because like you have to be able to automate the canisters from here to these, and then they automatically get pulled into the centrifuges, and then they continue on their merry way with this fun automation. But because these are so big and the ranges for the auto arms are so small, you can't cover like the whole thing without doing multiple auto arms, which like it takes a little more work, and I could probably do it just fine, but it's just annoying, and I'm all about making things easy well, sometimes. Hey there, folks. I am interrupting myself, I'm assuming. Just me from the future. I'm actually going to stop this because my frame rate is ass. There's been a couple of things that have come up and that I wanted to show you just real quick. The first thing is I have sort of gone back and forth as to whether or not I want to actually move the base. Mostly because, like, although this wall is sort of rendered useless by these things, it still looks cool and it works really well, and I'm proud of it, and I don't necessarily want it to go away. The other thing I wanted to just show the team is my automation at work here with the... Oh, that's a problem. And that's... Oh. All right, I'm going to explain a couple of things. One, I just wanted to show that this is working. I did a trip around the world with both my big soil canisters and my little ones, and it's working. I'm making ammonium. I had talked about earlier about how the automation for this is wonky, because like with all the auto arms and these things being so big. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm so stupid. Why don't I just put soil canisters on the actual thing? And it's like, well, yes, that does work. Oh my god, I didn't turn off these auto arms, I see. Although that does work, the problem is that not all of the spaces are filled on, like you can see an empty space there. Not all of them are filled, so some ammonium is going to get onto here. And then it's not going to be automatically pulled with my automation arms that are down here, as you can see. Still not really sure how I'm going to automate this perfectly. You know, it's an ongoing process. Yeah, anyway, back to old me. Let's move on to the automation, and we'll get to why that soil canister has completely screwed me. From here, once an ammonium is completed, it will be automatically picked up by one of these arms. Now, let's see if I can find just a rogue ammonium. Here's one, to give you a little demonstration as to what's happening here. So I'll just kind of drop that there. Oh, and plop, there it goes. And then it goes into the earth, never to be seen again. Just kidding, if you listen closely, you can hear it working. What is that? Under the ground automation? I'm a genius. And then in just a second here, pop, up it goes into the large canister here, where it automatically dispenses. So when I have these rolling, like this should be filling up with ammonium, and then while these are going, and then these go ahead and go, create our hydrazine, which is then picked up by this auto arm and placed onto these two medium silos. But then what do you do from there? Well, naturally, you'll want to send them on their merry way. How do I show this without spoiling what I've already spoiled? Hold on. There we go. Okay. So we are now going to be able to see, maybe this should go, right? Just give it a second here. There should be an open slot. There she blows. And down, straight into the earth, never to be seen again. Just kidding. Let me show you a little behind the scenes here. This is my access tunnel for when things go sideways. Here's my underground automation. It gets dropped down to this guy, who gives it to that guy, who gives it to that guy, who hands it up to my beautiful automated wall of hydrazine. Look at all of that beautiful, beautiful gas. And you know the best part about this? The best part about this, which I'm so sad, this is why I'm mad that because of the change. Plop. Automatic. Automatic. And then it'll just keep... Well, let me give you a little behind the scenes because, again, this is all going to be taken down because now all we have to do... Drop it in there. The soil canister now holds hydrazine, which means that my wall of hydrazine has gone inert. Not inert. I don't know. Bad. I don't need it anymore. I just need a wall of soil canisters, which fortunately, because I was doing that around the world thing, I have a number of them. Anyway, let's look behind the scenes. Trent said this wasn't beautiful. I think it is beautiful. Look at all that. So basically, it just... all of these auto arms hand the hydrazine to these medium storages, and then from there they get picked up by all of these handy auto arms, which will give it to absolutely any of the open spaces on these walls. It's all covered. Each of these extra large platform Cs with the what are they called? Active storage? Yeah, large active storages have 4 auto arms that are each servicing one of them. And yeah, it's all covered. So anytime you remove any hydrazine from any of these, let's keep on running, it'll replenish it. And then once I have soil in there, from the place that we saw earlier, it'll keep replenishing the hydrazine. And so you can see I've got quite the stock right now. I'm not really sure how many soil canisters it's going to take to fill or to consolidate all this, but it's definitely going to be less. It's going to be less than we are seeing here. Or maybe more if I continue to overindulge in hydrazine. But like the jetpacks, let's be honest, they are what makes this game like absolutely playable. Like being able to run around and carry anything with a jetpack is incredible. Also, the nice thing about this iceberg, not only does it cover up the behind the scenes workings of the hydrazine automation, I can also put these platforms on here, and then anytime one of these runs out, when I come back, bam, more hydrazine replenished. Oh, it's beautiful. I think that's everything. The reason I'm putting this together is mostly for posterity's sake. I don't know if anybody in the world is interested in this, in my base. There's a lot of intricacies to it that I'm proud of, and probably a lot of inefficiencies that that I don't even know about because I'm just trying to have some fun, man. We're also thinking about placing everything up here. Could be fun. Would be pretty. And then we'd have instant access to wherever this teleports you to. Anyway. Away! Chris! Chris! Chris!